guys, Leah here. Today I'm going to be taking you through a PilatesMAX class. So for those of you who have been following me for a while, you may remember what PilatesMAX is. But for those of you who are new, PilatesMAX was a style of class that I designed to really up the ante of a traditional Pilates class. It focuses heavily on the core, using your own body weight as resistance and holding poses for an amount of time to really push you through your perceived limits. This class is for people who really want to take their Pilates practice to the next level. It's designed for people who have a good, solid understanding of basic Pilates exercises and are generally fit and healthy themselves. There's very little rest in between the exercises and the class flows quite quickly. As with all of my classes, they are designed for people who have a basic level of fitness. Especially with this class, if you have any underlying conditions that may prevent you from completing the class, please do check with your health professional before attempting. So all you need is a mat, some comfy workout clothes, and about an hour of your time. Are you ready? Let's get started. Come lying down onto your back. Feet flat on the floor, knees bent to about 90 degrees. Just rest your arms down by your side and establish your neutral pelvis, neutral spine. So you should know what these positions feel like. Tailbone nice and heavy onto the mat, little curve in the lower back, back of the rib cage heavy, little arc in the neck, and the back of your neck is nice and long with your head resting heavy onto the mat. Your neutral pelvis is the midpoint between your tuck and your arch. So just allowing the tailbone to rest nice and heavy. Your hip bones and your pubic bone are on the same horizontal plane. Your feet are about a foot away from your bottom. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Have your thumbs running down the side of your neck. Bring your elbows slightly forward so you can see them in your peripheral vision. Press your head back into your hands and your eye gaze is looking about 45 degrees up towards the ceiling. Draw the lower rib cage in, draw your navel to your spine. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, curling the head and chest forwards for 1. Breathe in back. Breathe out, curl forwards for 2. And return. Breathe out, curling forwards for 3. And back. Breathing out for 4. And down, keeping that neutral spine for 5. Funneling the rib cage down towards the hips for 6. Elbows open for 7. And last one for 8. Now let's add a twist, keeping the hips and pelvis stable. We take our right shoulder to our left knee for 1. Breathe in back. And the left shoulder comes over for 2. And return. Right shoulder comes over and back. And breathe out left. And return. Right shoulder over for 3. Breathe in back. Breathe out the left. And return. Right shoulder for 4. And back, and breathe out left. Let's come up through the center for 16 small little pulses. So we're lifting up for 1 and 2. Tiny pulses for 3 and 4. Shoulder blades off the floor for 5 and 6. Keep the elbows open for 7 and 8 to go. For 1. All the toes connected to the floor. 2, 3. Holds 4 and 5 for 6. 7 and 8, coming all the way down. Bring your right knee up into tabletop, followed by your left. Squeeze your feet, ankles and knees together. Take a breath in to prepare, and as you breathe out, curling forwards for 1. Breathe in back. Breathe out, curl forwards 2. And return. Curling forwards for 3. And back. Breathe out 4. And down. For 5. Breathing back. Get those shoulder blades up for 6 and return. Narrow through the waist for 7 and for 8. Let's take into a twist. Right shoulder comes towards the left knee. 1. Keeping the pelvis and hips stable. And left shoulder comes over and back. Right shoulder for 2. Breathe in back. Breathe out left and back. Right shoulder for 3 and return. Breathe out left and back. Right shoulder for 4. Return and breathe out left 16 pulses through the center. 4, 1, really lift that chest. 2, keep the throat open. 3, eye gaze to the tops of the knees. 4, pulsing. 5, 6, 7, and 8 to go. 4, 1, squeeze the feet, ankles and knees together. 3, 4, pulse. 5, navel to spine. 6, 7, and 8. Bringing the head down, release the hands. Bring the feet back to the original position, so flat on the floor. Let's just do a couple of pelvic roll-ups to stretch out the midsection. Take a breath in to prepare. As you breathe out, flatten the back. Tuck your pelvis under, roll your spine all the way up into the air until you're one long line from your knees, down through your hips into your shoulders. Squeeze your bottom, lift your hips. All 10 toes connected to the floor. Make sure your knees are tracking parallel up towards the ceiling. Broaden through the shoulders. Draw the navel to the spine. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, rolling the spine down vertebra by vertebra. Starting with the mid-back. Rolling all the way down. And your tailbone is the last to uncurl. And again, breathing in. Breathe out, flatten the back. Tuck your pelvis under, rolling the spine all the way up into the air. Funnel the ribcage down towards the hips. Squeeze your bottom, lifting the hips. Even weight through both feet. Make sure you're not overarching through the back. Back of your neck is long. Keep the throat nice and open. Squeeze through the shoulder blades. Press them into the mat. Take a breath in, squeeze and lift your hips a little higher. And as you breathe out, we're rolling the spine down, bone by bone. Placing each vertebra down on the mat one at a time. Uncurling like a fern frond, your tailbone the last to make contact with the mat. One more like this, breathing in. Breathe out, we're flattening through the lower back, tucking the pelvis under, rolling that spine all the way up into the air. Squeeze your bottom, lift your hips, draw the navel towards the spine. Draw the lower rib cage in. Broaden, wide and flat through the front of the chest, back of the shoulders. Feel the hamstrings, even weight through the heels. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, we're rolling the spine down, one vertebra at a time. And your tailbone is the last to uncurl. Bring your arms out to the side. Just shuffle your feet together, knees together. We're taking the knees to the right, turn your head to the left. This should just feel good. Really stretching through that midsection, that side waist. And then coming up through center, knees go left, head and chest go right. And then coming up through the center, one more each side, knees to the right, head and chest to the left. And then lifting up through the center, knees to the left, head and chest to the right. And coming up through center. Okay, extend your legs. We're going into 2 sets of hundreds. The first set of hundreds, we're keeping our legs still in your hundreds position, so safe for the back, but strong in the abs. Second set of hundreds, we're going to be lifting and lowering the legs. All right, let's get into our 100 position. So extend your arms over your head. Extend your legs nice, long and strong. Reach everything long and away. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Take a breath in. Slide your toes along the floor. Breathe out, curling forwards. Extend your legs into your hundreds position and pump your arms. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 5. Head down if your neck feels weak. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 7. Strong arms. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 8. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 9. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 10. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Touch your toes to the floor. Stretch everything long and away. We're resting here just for a moment. We're going into our second set of hundreds. We're going to lift and lower the legs. So only move in a range of motion that is safe for you. Here we go. Breathe in, slide your toes along the floor. Breathe out, curling forwards, extend your legs into your hundreds position. And we're pumping our arms. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 5. Head down if your neck feels weak. And lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 7. Strong arms. And lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 9. Breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 10. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. Stretch your arms over your head. Reach your legs long. We're going into our roll-ups. So you breathe in, lift your head, neck and shoulders, reach towards your toes. Breathe out, rolling all the way forward into your C curve, stretching long over your thighs. If you need to bend your knees to take the pressure out of your lower back, please do so. Make sure you're getting a nice stretch through the back of the hamstrings, the lower back. Reach your arms forward, shoulders down away from your ears. Maintain that C curve in your spine. Squeeze your feet, ankles and knees together. Inner thighs squeezing. Take a breath in here through the sides and the back of the rib cage. And as you breathe out, keeping that C curve, we're rolling all the way back. Using control. Squeezing the abdominals, shoulders down away from your ears, nice and slowly. Lifting your arms up overhead, lay them behind you. And again, breathe in, lift your head, neck and shoulders, rolling all the way forwards into your C curve. Broaden through the shoulders, nice and broad through the back. Send your belly button back through your spine. Keep that C curve. Take a breath in here through the back and sides of the rib cage. And as you breathe out, we're rolling back down. Shoulders down away from your ears. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Use the tummy to move slowly, placing each vertebra down on the mat one at a time. Lift your arms up over your head, lay them behind you. And again, breathe in, lift your head, neck and shoulders, reach towards your toes and rolling all the way forwards into your C curve. Stretching long over your thighs. Really reach your fingertips, reach your toes. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Nice stretch through the hamstrings. Take a breath in here to the back and sides of the rib cage. And then breathe out, C curving out your spine, rolling back down, one vertebra at a time. Really reach your arms forward, shoulders down away from your ears, tucking your tailbone under, lifting your arms up overhead, one more like this. Breathe in, lift your head, neck and shoulders, reach towards your toes, rolling all the way forwards into your C curve. So this time we're going to roll back, we're going to roll down at a tempo. So we're going to do nice and slowly for 8 counts. So we start to roll back, keeping that C curve, keep your tailbone tucked under, maintaining that side. So sending that belly button right through the back, keeping that C curve. And then we're going down for 8, and for 7, and for 6, and for 5, point your toes, squeeze in the thighs. For 4, shoulders down away from your ears. For 3, reach your arms all the way forwards. For 2, and for 1, good, and lift your arms up overhead, lay them behind you. Well done, guys. Bring your arms down by your side. We're going into a rollover now, so you might want to scooch forward just a touch. So you're on your mat. So we start with our legs up at 90 degrees. 90-degree angle at the hips. Press your hands down into the mat. Now, without momentum, we're going to take our legs over our head. So they're nice and parallel to the ground. Make sure you don't move your neck or your head in this position. Funnel the rib cage down towards the hips, narrow through the waist. Really reach your legs away from you, long and strong. You can lower the legs down if you want to, touch the floor, bring them back up to parallel, and then with control, we're going to roll the spine down. Press your hands into the mat. So without using momentum, we're just using core control. One at a time, each vertebra comes down, and we lift back up to 90 degrees. Let's do 3 more like this. and we're rolling over. Again, make sure you're not moving your neck or your head, so no turning of the head here. Reach your legs away from you. You can lower the legs down and lift, and then we're rolling down. And then lifting the legs up to the ceiling, really stretching, pointing the toes, 2 more, and we roll over. Keeping the legs parallel to the floor, squeeze the inner thighs together, point the toes, lower the legs down, and lift. And then sending that belly button through the spine, we're going to roll back down. Keeping those legs as close to your face as you can, using your tummy. And up. Last one, we roll over. Really squeeze the legs, press the hands into the mat. We lower those legs down, we lift up, and then keeping those thighs as close to our face as possible, we roll all the way down. And then we lower the legs down. So we're going to come sitting up. We're going to do an exercise called the open leg rocker. And the first thing we're going to do is the prep for that. So sitting in the middle of your mat, you're going to bring your legs up, holding onto the front of your ankles with your arms threaded through the inside of your legs. So let's give it a go with our prep. So bringing the toes off, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders down, keeping the pelvis stable. You're going to open the right leg. And then bend, toes touch. And opening the left. And bend, now open both. And bend. And again, right, bend, left, bend, both, bend, and again, right, bend, left, bend, both. One more, open the right, open the left, and then open both. Okay, so from this position, if you want to just stay in your prep, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, come with me. We're going to roll back and then come up with our legs extended. Here we go. Excellent work, guys. All right, let's bring the feet down, come to your back. We're going into some pelvic stability now. So feet a little bit farther away from your bottom, arms down by your side. We're starting off with some glute bridges. So we're just going to lift our hips straight up into the air until you're one long line from your knees all the way down through your shoulders. Squeeze your bottom, lift your hips, not overarching in the back. And then lower the hips down just so they hover again above the floor. And lift and squeeze for 2. And lower. Lift and squeeze 3. And down. Lift and squeeze 4. Lower. And for 5. Down. Lift and squeeze 6. Lower. 7. And 8. Keep your hips lifted. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. We're going into our pelvic stability. So shift all of the weight over to your left side. Really activate your left glute, left hamstring. Float your right knee and foot up into the air. And then place that foot down. Like lifting your left knee. And lower. Right knee for 2. And down. Lifting the left. Lower. Right for 3. Down. And the left. Lower. Right for 4. Down, lifting the left. Let's add on to here. So we float our right knee up. We extend the leg out to straight. Bend the knee back to tabletop. Place that foot down. Other side, floating the left. And extend. Breathing, bend. Lower. Floating the right 2. Extend. Bend. Down. And the left. Extend. bend. And right for 3, extend, bend, lower, the left, extend, bend, down. Last one on this side for 4, and lower, and the left, extend, bend. Let's add on to here. So we lift the right knee, extend the leg to straight, lower the leg down towards the ground, lift the leg, bend the knee back to tabletop, place it down, and the left, extend, keep the leg straight, lower, lift, bend, down, right for 2, extend, lower, lift, bend, down, and the left. Keep even weight through both shoulder blades. Back of the neck is long. Bend. Last one. Float the right. Extend. Lower. Lift. Bend. Down. And the left. Extend. Lower. Really stretch through the hip. Bend. Down. Let's finish by doing some heel raises in our bridge position. So bringing the hands back down, shuffle your feet a little bit closer in towards your bottom. And we're going to lift up onto our toes for 1 and lower. Lifting 2, down. For 3, lower. And for 4, really squeeze the calves. For 5, navel to spine. For 6, and for 7, and for 8, let's do 8 more. Squeeze your bottom, lift your hips. 1, lower. And for 2, down, lifting 3, lower. And for 4, navel to spine. For 5, lower rib cage in. For 6, lift and squeeze. For 7, lift and squeeze. For 8, and lower the hips down. Extend the legs, extend the arms. And we're moving into our core and abdominal section. So you can stay on your back, bring the knees up into tabletop. Again, interlace your fingers behind your head, thumbs running down the side of your neck. Bring your elbows slightly forward so you can see them in your peripheral vision. And then press your head back into your hands. Make sure that your lower rib cage stays engaged and you narrow through your waist, drawing that down towards the hips. We're starting off with our single leg stretch and then adding a twist. So we extend our right leg out for 1, bring it in, breathe out left and in, right for 2, in and the left, in, right for 3, in, left. The lower you take your legs, the stronger it is for your abs, but just make sure that you keep that neutral spine engaged and you're not putting your lower back at risk. And the left, in, right for 8, and the left. Let's add our twist. So extend your right leg, twist to the left knee for 1, in, left, in, right for 2, in, left, in, right for 3, and left, and right for 4, in, left, 4 more, for 5, left, right for 6, left, right for 7, left, and right for 8, in, left, in, keep the knees in tabletop, reach your hands towards the sides of your knees, going into our double leg stretch, extend both arms and legs at the same time away from each other, for 1, and in, and for 2, in, 3, in, 4, and in, for 5, really crunch and squeeze it in, for 6, and in, for 7, reach away and then squeeze it in, for 8, and in. Bring the legs up towards the ceiling, hands come back behind the head into our scissors, lowering the right leg down for 1, and then we swap, and 2, and swap, and 3, and 4, and for 5, and for 6, really think of reaching the legs away for 7, and 8. Let's add a twist. So as the right leg goes down, we twist to the left knee for 1. And switch. 2. Switch. 3. Switch. 4. Switch. 5. 6. 4, 7. And 8. And switch. Okay, keep the legs up towards the ceiling, 90 degrees at the hips. Arms come down by your side. We're going into our jackknife. So, with control, we take our legs over our head, into our rollover position, and then we lift our legs up towards the ceiling. Point the toes, squeeze the inner thighs. We lower back down, and then we roll the spine down, vertebra by vertebra. We bring the legs all the way down to just above the floor, and then we come back up into our rollover. Lift the legs up towards the ceiling, squeeze the bottom. Lower back down into our rollover, and then we lower the spine down. Let's do 2 more. Lower the legs, and back up. Over. Lift the legs. With control, lower the legs. And then using the abdominals, we roll the spine down. Without using momentum, control every single movement. Last one. Lifting up and over. Lift the legs up towards the sky. Lower down. And roll the spine down. Let's go into our last exercise. So lower the legs down towards the floor. Bring them back up to 90 degrees. Again, hands come behind the head, double leg lowers. So lifting the head and chest. We're going to do 4 just to establish our range of motion. And then we're going to go into 8 in our full range of motion. So here we go. Imprint the lower back into the floor. Protect the lower back. Draw the navel to the spine. And we're lowering down for 1. And lift. Lower down for 2. And lift. Maybe a little bit lower for 3. And up. And for 4, establish your range of motion. And lift. Let's do 8. And lower down for 1. And squeeze and lift. Lower for 2. And lift. Chest and shoulders up for 3. And lift. Lower down for 4. And up. And for 5. Lift. Lower for 6. Strong in the core. For 7. Squeezing the thighs together. Lower for 8. And lift. Release the hands. Bring your feet and your ankles and knees together. Hands come out to the side. Take your knees over to the right. Turn your head and chest to the left. This should just feel good. Really stretch through that midsection. Coming up through the center, other side, knees to the left, head and chest to the right. Coming up through the center, 1 more each side. And lift, and other side. And up. So we're going to flip over onto our tummy for our back section. Every time I work the abs or the core, I always like to work the back. Where there's flexion, there should be extension, just to balance out the movement. All the movement that we do is for the core, but the core is front and it's also for the back. It's very important that we keep balanced in our exercises. So come lying down onto your tummy. So make sure that in this position you're also protecting everything in a neutral position, which means tucking the tailbone under. Really press your pubic bone into the mat. That just creates some space in the sacrum. So in your lumbar spine, your lower back, you want to keep this nice and open. We press the tops of our feet into the floor and we suck our kneecaps up our thighs, really activating the legs. Legs out long and strong. Shoulders are going to be down away from the ears and keeping the eye gaze down towards the mat. So again, very important to keep the back of the neck nice and long, projecting the crown of the head forward. So we're going to start off with some back extension. And bring your hands underneath your forehead. So one hand on top of the other, elbows out to the side, shoulders down away from the ears. Again, looking straight down to the mat. Back of the neck is long. Press the tops of your feet into the ground. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, lifting from the middle back. Make sure you're not crunching into the lower back. You might only come up the mat half an inch, and then lower down. And then lifting up for 2, and lower. Lifting for 3, really project the top, the crown of the head forward. Lifting for 4, and lower. For 5, squeeze the bottom, tuck the pelvis under. For 6, really press that pubic bone into the mat. For 7, and down. Lifting for 8. Now stay up here. We're going to bring our arms down to our hips. Really reach them down towards the toes. Shoulders down. We're in a flight position. This is what's called flight. So I'm going to stay here as if you're shooting through the air. Really reach back, stretch the legs, squeeze the bottom, tuck the tailbone under, and project the head forward. For 1. And 2, lifting from the middle back. For 3, as if you're a rocket flying through the air. For 4, stretch the legs long and strong. For 5. And for 6. For 7. Now we're going to sweep both of our arms up over our head, maintaining our flight position. So without anything else moving, we're going to sweep our arms up for 1, and then back as if you're swimming. For 2, and back. Eye gaze down towards the floor for 3. Really squeezing the bottom, tucking the tailbone under. For 4, and back. Flying up for 5, and back. For 6, legs long and strong. For 7, and back. We're coming up for 8. We're going to keep our arms up here. Lower the hands down so the sides of your hands are touching the floor. And we're going to lift arms and legs at the same time. So keep the head down, and then we lift arms and legs up for 1. And then think of extending everything away. Rather than coming up, we're extending long and down. Lifting for 3, and lower. Feeling that mid-back working for 4. There should be no pain in the lower back. For 5, legs out long and strong. For 6, really suck those kneecaps up towards the thighs. For 7, and for 8. Now stay up here and we're swimming. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8 to go. For 1, reach the arms long. 2, legs long. 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well done, guys. Push yourself back into your child's pose, rest pose, baby pose, however you call it. So sitting back on the heels, reaching the arms forward, rest your forehead onto your mat. Really release through the lower back. So this is an active stretch. Really push yourself back onto your heels. Sit bones connect to the heels. Take some deep cleansing breaths. And then slowly walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Stretching out the left side of your body, making sure that your left sit bone stays connected to your left heel. So really push yourself back into this stretch. And then walking both your hands over to the left side of your mat. Stretching out the right side of your body. Again, right sit bone and right heel stay connected. Coming through the center. Last little stretch, and then slowly walk yourself back up. All right, guys, it's time to work our butt. So, we're going to come up into a standing position. We're going to do a variation on a scooter exercise today. So, anytime you're in an active squat position, you're doing what's called an isometric hold. So you are activating muscles without actually moving them. So they're going to be on tension the whole time. So where you'll feel this exercise is in the leg that you're standing on. So you want to try and maintain this squat position. And we're going to be moving our other leg. You will be feeling it in the glute, but in a different part of the glute. So the exercise we're going to do is you're going to be in a squat position, nice and deep. You're going to scoot the leg back, lift it up, lower it down, come in. We're going to the side, lift, lower, and in. We're going to do 8 combo, and then switch over to the other side. So the challenge is keeping the pelvis stable, the hips facing forwards, so not sagging down or sinking into the hips in any strange way, really staying stable, keeping that back nice and straight, and pitching the spine forward. Okay, so coming down into your squat, I'm going to lift our right toes. I'm going to go back first. Here we go. So back, lift, lower, in, side, lift, lower, in, back for 2, lift, lower, in, side, lift, lower, in, 3, in, side, lift, lower, in, 4, in, side, lift, lower, in, 5, lift, lower, in, side, lift, lower, in, 6, side, 2 more, 7, side, and 8, and side. Woo! I hope you all felt that, because I sure did. So we're going over to the other side now, so we come back down into our squat, sitting nice and deep. We're lifting up the left toes this time, and here we go. Back, lift, lower, in, side, lift, lower, in, 2, side, keeping those hips nice and stable, side, and 4, in, side, and 5, lift, lower, in, side, lift, lower, in, 6, side, 2 more, 7, side, and 8, lift, lower, in, side, and finished. So we're going to finish our glute section off with some clams. So come lying down onto your side. Bend the knees to 90 degrees. Make sure that your underneath side waist is lifted. So this is also a neutral spine position. You want to make sure that your spine is in a line from the top of your head down to the tip of your tailbone. So hips are stacked. Top hip directly over your bottom hip, and as your knee opens, we're not rolling the hips back. So making sure that we're pushing that top hip forward. Keeping the hips stacked, shoulder down away from your ears. Feet are glued together. We're going to lift our top knee as high as we can, really activating that top bottom, and then we lower down. Lifting up for 2 and lower. Keep those hips pushing forward for 3 and down. Lifting up for 4, and then resist the movement going down, and for 5. Concentric and eccentric phases, both active. 6, for 7, and for 8. Let's add on to this. So we're going to float the knee up, extend the leg out to straight. 1, bend the knee, toes touch, we come back down. So open, extend, bend, lower, and for 2, extend, bend, down, and for 3, underneath side waist lifted, and for 4, extend, bend, lower, lifting 5, extend, bend, down, 6, bend, down, 2 more, 7, extend, bend, down, and 8, extend, bend, and lower. Other side, so we spin around, or spin over. Knees bent to 90 degrees, underneath side waist is lifted, rib cage in, hips are stacked, feet glued together. Here we go. We open the top knee, 1 and down, and for 2, lower, lift for 3, down, and for 4, and for 5, really resist the open for 6, hips are not rolling back for 7, and for 8, let's add our extension. So we open the knee, and then we extend the leg, bend, lower, open for 2, extend, bend, down, and for 3, underneath side waist stays lifted, and for 4, navel to spine, 4 more, 5, extend, bend, lower, 6, bend, down, for 7, bend, lower, and for 8, extend, bend, and down. Well done, guys. Rolling onto your back, we're just going to stretch the glutes. So cross the right ankle over your left knee, kick up behind your left thigh, and then flex your right foot and press your right ankle into your left knee. Then draw that left knee back towards you. You should be feeling a stretch in your right bottom cheek. If you want to deepen that stretch, then anchor your tailbone down into the mat and arch your lower back as you pull that knee in towards you. That just gives you a little bit of an extra stretch in that right glute. Keep that right foot flexed. Keep that right ankle pressing into that left knee. Releasing that right bottom. Other side. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Hold behind your right thigh this time. Flex your left foot and press that left ankle into your right knee as you draw that right knee back in towards your chest. Again, if you want to deepen that stretch, anchor the tailbone, arch the lower back, pull that knee back towards you. Feel that delicious stretch in your left bottom. Release your left foot. Just hug both of your knees into your chest. Just rock back side to side, releasing any tension that may have built up. And then little circles, 3 in one direction, 3 in the other direction. And we are going into our final section, sides, core, and arms. So we're going to start off this section with an exercise called side bend, and then going into our side bend and twist. So how this starts, you've got your underneath knee bent, top foot in front, one hand planted down beside you. Your top hand rests on top of your knee. Now just test this out so that you're in the right position, because what you're going to want to do is push these feet into the floor and then lift up into an arc. So you're going to push up, so you might need to shuffle your feet back or forwards so that you end up in a position like this with your underneath side waist lifted and your arm over your head. And then you should just be able to come sit your hip down onto the ground without moving your feet or ankles too much. So find your position. And then when you're ready, we're going to start. So, starting off here, and we lift up and over for 1, and lower down. Lifting up for 2, squeeze the inner thighs, and lower. Lift with your underneath side waist for 3, and down. Up and out of that bottom shoulder for 4, and lower. Lift and squeeze for 5, and down. Lift and squeeze for 6, really working through that underneath side waist. Lift and squeeze for 7, and down. Lift and squeeze for 8. Now holding here, We're going to bring our arm, top arm up, and we're going to lift our hips and pivot underneath that space that we've just created. So we lift, twist, thread our arm through, and then we come back to the side. And twisting for 2. And side. Twisting for 3. And side. Twisting for 4. Back to the side. Really working that underneath side waist for 5. And side. And for 6. Back to our side. 2 more for 7. Side. And for 8. Now we're holding in our side plank for a count of 8. 2, 3, 4, holding 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well done, guys. Coming down, we're going on to the other side. So spin the legs around. Again, finding that position. So your top foot in front of your bottom foot. And just lift up. Make sure that you're in the right spot. And here we go. Lift over for 1 and down. Lift and squeeze for 2 and lower. Working through that underneath side waist for 3 and down. Lift and squeeze for 4 and lower. Lift and squeeze for 5 and down. Lift and squeeze for 6. Make sure you're not collapsing down into that bottom shoulder. Lift and squeeze for 7 and down. And lift and squeeze for 8. Now bring that arm up and we lift, pivot and twist for 1 and then side. And then twist for 2 and side. And twist for 3. Really lift those hips up towards the ceiling. And for 4. And side. And for 5. Up. And for 6. Really lifting through the underneath side waist. And it's totally normal for 7 that one side feels weirder than the other. And for 8. And we're holding our plank for 1 and 2. Holding for 3 and 4. Lifting through the underneath side waist for 5 and 6. For 7 and 8. And coming all the way down. Well done, guys. That was a really tough little sequence there. So let's stretch that out with our mermaid stretch. So coming into a Z position, you've got one knee behind you, the other knee bent in front of you. Bringing the arms out to the side. We're going to come down as we reach our top arm over. So really try and keep this sit bone connected down to the floor. Push into the hand, push backwards, nice C curve. Reach that top arm, really stretching through that top side waist. And then come up, and we're going over to the other side. This should just feel beautiful after all that side waist work. And then up and over again. And other side. One more. Lifting up. Come down if you feel like it. And lifting up and over. Other side. So swapping the legs around. Whichever way you were before, just switch the legs. Starting with the arms out to the side. Sit bones down. We bring the arm down. We reach up and over. Try and lift up out of that rib cage. Really stretching through the side waist. Two more. We're nearly there, guys. You've done so well. Up and over. One more each side. Again, you can come down onto your elbow. feel like it. A little bit of extra stretch there. And up, over. All right, let's go into our final section, our push-up section. So the sequence we're going to do today is a down, down, up, up with 10 push-ups 3 times through. So I'll explain what that means. We're going to come into a front plank. Now down, down, up, up is also called a moving plank. So you come down onto one elbow, down, up, and then we go the other side, down, up, and then you've got 10 push-ups. Now you can do them off your toes, totally do them off your knees, wherever you're up to. I'm going to do them off my knees today. But you can start on your toes, you can come down onto your knees whenever you feel like it. We're going to do 3 rounds. So down, down, up, up, starting with one elbow, down, down, up, up, starting the other elbow, 10 push-ups, times 3, and then you are finito. So let's get this little section done, and then we can have a nice stretch. Right, so coming into your plank. Again, you can be on your knees if you want to for this section as well. So making sure with your plank, tailbone tucked, nice and broad through the back. We're a nice straight long line from the head all the way down to the feet. All right, we're going to lead with our left elbow. So come down, down, up, and then right elbow, down, down, up, and then 10 push-ups. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Second round, come back into your plank. We're going down, down, up, up. This time lead with the right elbow. Down, down, up, left elbow. Down, down, up, and 10 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last round, coming into your plank. Down, down, up, leading with the left. Down, down, up, and leading with the right. Down, down, up. Last 10 push-ups. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you are done. Well done, guys. That was tough. I'm very, very proud of you if you got through that entire workout. Let's do some stretches to stretch the arms out. So come sitting, whatever position feels good for you. Whew. Catch your breath. And then we're going into a beautiful shoulder stretch. So bringing one arm across your body, folding the other arm over the forearm, pressing them together, drop that shoulder down away from your ear, and then just tilt your head over towards your hands, getting a beautiful stretch down the side of the neck, really stretching that shoulder out, keeping that arm straight, pressing the forearms together, and just enjoy that release. Lift the head, release the arms other side. So bring that arm across your body, fold the other forearm over the top, press them together, drop that shoulder down away from your ear, and then tilt your head over towards your fingers. Really releasing through the side of the neck, releasing through that shoulder. Lift the head, release the arms, interlace your fingers behind your back, keeping the palms pressing together. Really stretch them down towards your tailbone, and then lifting the arms up as high as you can. It's comfortable for you and safe for your shoulders, stretching out through the front of the chest. If you want to increase this stretch, feel free to lean forwards, lift your arms up and over the head, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then coming up, release the hands. 3 shoulder rolls in one direction. 3 shoulder rolls in the other direction. And you guys are finished. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you want more workouts like this, then make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Instagram at Body by Leah Simmons. I'm so proud that you made it through my first ever recorded PilatesMAX workout. There will be plenty more where that came from. Now go off, get yourself a drink of water and enjoy your day. See you next time.